Okay, so today we have Do Your Best and Don't Worry from Morrissey from Southpaw Grammar. The last song I listened to off of Southpaw Grammar, I think it was The Operation, which is one of the best Morrissey songs I've heard. Really enjoyed Spencer Cobrin on that one. He really made the song for me. His drumming was wild and brash and nuts. So anyway, today we have Do Your Best and Don't Worry. Seems like a nice little title, uplifting title. So let's see what Morrissey has to say. And let's go, if I can talk English as well.
Best of their days with the worst of your days. You want to win with your standards so high and your spirit so low. At least remember, this is you on a bad day, you on a pale day. Just do your best and don't worry, the way you hang yourself is oh so unfair. See the best of how they look against the worst of how you are, and again you want to win.
You won't.
With your standards so high and your spirit so low, at least remember this is you on a drab day, you in a drab dress. Just do your best and don't worry, the way you hang yourself is oh so unfair. Just do your best and don't worry, the way you watch yourself is oh so unfair. Just do your best and don't worry, yourself is oh so unfair. Just do your best and don't worry, do your best and
Okay, holy moly. So, Southpaw Grammar, yeah. Do Your Best and Don't Worry from Morrissey from Southpaw Grammar. So I have to say at the top, coming into this, I mean, you always think about Morrissey, you think about sarcasm, you think about maybe some self-deprecation, you think about, humor, whatever. But with this one, it's just like, you think about, well, what's he gonna do? To say, with a title like, do your best and don't worry. What's he gonna, change up during the song? What's he gonna make funny or something? I don't know. But this song, surprisingly to me, is very just straightforward. It is what the title says it is. Do your best and don't worry. It's an uplifting track. I mean, Morrissey is almost like a motivational speaker here. I mean, it's kind of, it might be strange, but that's what's going on here, I found. And I have to say also, just with, I don't know, I've listened to, obviously, to a lot of Morrissey, but here with Spencer Cobrin, and like I said before, he's probably my favorite drummer that Morrissey had. I don't know if Spencer's has sounded more brash than he did on Southpaw Grammar from the songs I've heard. He sounds like a machine gun at some points here, and his quickness, his brashness, like I said, his bombastic sound, takes me, to a good place. And I just love it. Fits here so well with the guitar and the bass line. You can't miss that. Obviously, the guitar is brash as well. It's bold. Everything about this is just so good. I mean, it's so bold, I guess is what you could say. And I mean, Morrissey's voice, over it, talking about, don't get yourself down, do your best and try your best. Don't compare yourself to others. It's just like, my God, I just wasn't expecting it to be so straightforward. And so, it's like I said, just straightforward and honest and truthful and everything like that. Like I said, Spencer Cobrin really added so much for me, and I get like Boz Borer and Alan White, of course, on guitar and bass, and it's just Johnny Bridgewood, I think, is also on bass. Actually, the personnel here from the site I always go on, Passions Just Like Mine, it says here, it said producer Steve Lillywhite and Boz Borer were on guitar and bass, and then Alan White was also on guitar, and Spencer Cobrin was on drums. But also on Wikipedia, on their personnel for the album, it talks about Morrissey on vocals, Alan White on guitar and backing vocals. And I really have to say, I forgot to mention, Alan White's backing vocals were kind of, they weren't really, up front, but you could kind of hear him behind Morrissey, which I enjoyed. I wanted to also mention that. Because again, Morrissey and Alan White with Alan on backing vocals, they did do some, very good harmonies, different songs. And here I just really enjoyed how Alan White's, he had a touch of voice in there. So anyway, and then it says Boz Borer on guitar, Johnny Bridgewood on bass guitar, and obviously Spencer Cobrin on drums. But like I said, on this other one, it doesn't mention Johnny Bridgewood. So I don't know if he just wasn't on this track or what. But either way, maybe Steve just did this track for him. I don't know what was going on. But anyway, moving on. With this, like I said, just with the first verse from Morrissey here, compare the best of their days with the worst of your days, you won't win. With your standards so high and your spirits so low, at least remember, this is you on a bad day, you on a pale day. And then just right into the chorus with, just do your best and don't worry, oh, the way you hang yourself is oh so unfair. And I mean, honestly, what comes to mind is, at least for me, and I mean, so many other people, I mean, we're all, we can all relate. When you go on like social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, whatever it is. I mean, and again, I've had this conversation with my therapist, this is, Morrissey's bringing out these emotions, and, where you talk about, you go on social media and you see people having the best day of their lives, and you kind of get, maybe jealous, but you also feel kind of down because it's like, oh, they look so happy and I'm not, or whatever, I'm, this is bad, but again, it's just like this is you on a bad day, this is you on a pale day. And again, those people that you see that, kind of, make you feel envious or whatever because they're happy or because, they're in love or whatever it is. I mean, I don't know. They went to a concert even, they had a fun time and you're just like, oh crap, and I'm just sitting here in my bed. So it's just like that kind of a thing. And it's just like, but don't compare yourselves to them, because this is your worst day. Well, that's your best day. And that's the whole point of, social media. People put their best moments on, online. And then some people will look and be like, why are they having fun? But again, you put your best moments online as well too. It's just like, unless you don't have too many good moments, I don't know. But I mean, usually, you have a good moment and you have an uplifting time and you put that online, or maybe you don't, but you remember it. And, but then when you see someone else having a good time and you're already down, that's not going to make you feel good, and how he goes on again with the second verse where he talks about see the best of how they look against the worst of how you are. And again, you won't win. And again, it's just like, and that's what I was saying, they're in the song, you won't win, you won't. With your standards so high and your spirit so low, at least remember, this is you on a drab day, you in a drab dress. And I like that line. I think chuckled a little bit, whatever, you in a drab dress. I mean, yeah, it is. It's a great way to say it there for Morrissey. And also, when he talks about, your standards are so high and your spirits are so low. Excuse me, I almost burped or something there. But anyway, but yeah, just, almost kind of lower your standards. Don't take yourself so seriously, kind of a thing. You don't make your standards so high. Just have fun, or just don't compare yourselves to other. Don't compare yourself to others. My God. But yeah, talking about, again, see the best of how they look and the worst of how you are. And it's just like, again, not everybody always looks, stunning, whatever. Or if you see, people that look stunning, and that's not how they wake up. And against of how the worst you are. At some points you're going to be at your best, and some points you're going to be at your worst. That's just how it goes, and you can't, compare yourselves to others that are at their best when you're at your worst. So, it's just the same kind of thing. And like I said, it just reminded me of, the conversations in therapy, and, and how Morrissey is talking about, like I said, being like kind of a therapist in a way, or a motivational speaker, or just trying to tell you, and everything will be okay in a way. It's just like, have some confidence, and that's one thing as well, or just not even have confidence, but just, take everything with a grain of salt, or just, don't take everything so seriously. Just, live your own life. You don't compare yourselves to others. You can say that over and over. I mean, that's what it's all about. But I was going to say as well, which I mean, which is kind of weird to say now because I've done so many Moz tracks, but, Morrissey, into the 90s here, obviously after, his solo stuff, beginning in 1988, I think it was, with Viva Hate, but going into the 90s, and how his confidence kind of grew. Because, I mean, you talk about Morrissey, he's always been kind of a shy boy, whatever. But it feels like here, his confidence is growing. And I mean, in an album like this, and, maybe he even just wrote this song for himself. Maybe it was an own thing that he was going through or whatever. Just don't, the whole thing, do your best. That's all you can do. Do your best, and don't worry about other people, or don't worry about other things. You live your life, and other people will live their own. And it's just such a great message. I mean, the sentiment is beautiful. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, I love the brash and the bold and the catchy as all hell song about it, lyrics and such. But the music was great too. Did not take a back seat. Everything here was just on top, I thought. And I mean, this wasn't even a single or anything for the album. It's just, that's one thing, there's so many good, just songs that Morrissey had put out, on different solo albums, even back here in the 90s, obviously. And I do know that as well, that apparently he released a new track, from what I've heard. I think it was Rebels Without Applause, I think is what it's called. Which, I mean, yeah, I saw that recently. I might have to react to that soon. But like I was saying, yeah, it's just like his catalog is so big. And again, it's just enjoyable tunes all over. And this one is very uplifting. This one, I feel like is going to stay with me, just because, again, it's so true, talking about do your best and don't worry. It's such a great song to listen to when you're down, obviously. And when you're trying to, or when you're, again, comparing yourselves to others and yourself to others. I can't say that thing, but yeah, again, it's just, it's good for when you're down. It's good for when you're depressed, and, just to lift you up a little bit and make you realize that, things aren't always going to be drab. You're not always going to be in a drab dress. So anyway, that's all I got to say, I guess. Morrissey bringing out some therapy or something here. Morrissey the therapist, Stephen Morrissey, Dr. Stephen Morrissey here. So anyway, so I guess that's all I gotta say. This was a great song. Thanks for the request. Again, I get so many Morrissey requests. I mean, pick one, and this was a good pick one. This was a good pick, and I'm glad I did this one because, again, very uplifting, and I loved everything about it. So anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting, all that stuff. Really appreciate all the support, and I hope you come back for another Morrissey Friday, or you come back on Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday, or Friday, because I don't upload on Wednesday. So anyway, I'll see you guys again soon.